Thank you very much, Chairman David Maridi, Mr. President, Dr. Osumba, Engineer Bath, Director Josephat Mwaura, all protocols observed. Today I'm going to read a speech that would have been delivered here by my good friend Adil Kawaja, Chairman of Safaricom. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When I was invited to be the chief guest at this 34th Founders Day, I had no hesitation in saying yes. Starehe is a household name in Kenya, and I'm acutely aware of the numerous lives transformed by this institution. Unfortunately, other commitments do not allow me to be here today, but I am ably represented by yours truly, Mohammed Hassan, whom I hope will receive you as you have received me, and accept my most sincere apologies. The story we have been told about Starehe is incredible. I believe provides a deep lesson for this country. A focus on transforming lives can help to overcome even the most deeply held grievances. In 1955, the founders of this center met across the wall of an infamous detention camp, Manyani. One was a colonial youth officer associated with the enemy, and the others were detainees considered dangerous terrorists classified by the level of risk they each presented. One was the son of a colonial police officer. The others were villagers from Kirinyaga, Kiambu, fighting for the freedom of their country. These three men, from these very diverse and conflicting backgrounds, were able to put aside their differences and come together to invest their entire lives in transforming the lives of young boys who would have had no hope in life. That is a powerful story worth emulating by a nation in the world. No wonder Starehe was able to attract such world leaders as the late Senator Robert Kennedy, the late Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, Her Royal Highness the Royal Princess Anne, and sports legends like Pele and Muhammad Ali. You have also produced your own sports legend in the realm of Paul Ereng, the 800-meter gold medalist for the 1988 Seoul Olympics. With over 15,000 alumni drawn from every corner of this country, men who have risen from almost insurmountable challenges and risen to high echelons of society in business, politics, public service, non-profit organizations, we as a country have much to learn from Starehe. I urge these alumni to make themselves felt in every sector in society and inspire others that it is indeed possible to rise from obscurity and indignity of poverty to a position of dignified contribution to the nation and the world. Every nation seeks the success story of transformation, of creating self-belief in the bulk of the population, still saddled with the tragic stories of intergenerational hopelessness. Imagine the joy and hope you have brought to the families and the communities across the breadth and length of this nation. This success has not been without pitfalls. Right from inception, Starehe had risen up against the insurmountable odds from oppositions from the local population, which your first patron, the late Thomas Joseph Mboya himself, a resident of Ziwani, helped to stem off. Honorable Mboya was succeeded by his colleague and friend, His Excellency the late Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, and a patron of the center from 1969 to his death in April 2022. Successive presidents have provided whatever help they can, and I will relay your request to His Excellency President Dr. William Ruto to grace the occasion of your 65th Founders Day next year. I hope that well before the date, the problem you have cited of overwhelming shortage of teachers will have been addressed. Once I'm done with this speech, I'll give my 2 cents on that. I understand that another challenge that remains is the support required by young alumni to complete their tertiary education and settle into the professional and business life. The director advises me that you now have an initiative to establish a support and partnership program to provide some limited help to those who most needy. This is a noble way of ensuring the investment you have made in these young men to ensure that their promising lives are not interrupted by the financial challenges they face in the tertiary education. I am happy to provide my own contribution to this program and to provide every support in building a broad-based partnership to work with the center. I have also heard from the chairman about your initiative to build an infrastructure fund of Kenya shillings 2 million to help renovate and renew the center. Once again, whatever help can be provided towards the endeavor will be done. My visit today will be most fulfilling. I congratulate the team of the center for continuing with the ethos of the founders, provide sacrifice service, and build a cohort of Kenyans with a foundation of productive skill, exemplary character. The government's quest to transform the socio-economic institution framework to benefit the great majority of Kenyans, especially those at the bottom of the pyramid, is well served by Starehe's achievement over the last 64 years rather. I carry with me one significant lesson. This nation has much to learn from Starehe. We owe it to ourselves to do whatever we can to support Starehe's noble mission. I wish you every success in all your endeavors, and I assure you of my voice and support. Thank you very much.
For the tertiary fund.
Okay. Mr. Adil Kawaja had informed me that he has done some small harambe, and he wants to pledge 2.5 million from Safaricom, 1 million from His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and 500,000 for himself, and I will what they call kusindikisha. I will sindikisha that with 100,000 shillings. During my discussion with the director here, and I think you have heard from Adil's speech, he talked about the issue about teachers, and I will take it upon myself to try and use whatever means possible to try and see that these teachers that you don't have, you get them during this financial year of the government. As you are aware, in the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza, we had indicated that there were about 116,000 teachers deficit in Kenya. In the last financial year, as soon as President William Ruto came into power, we put in for the first time 30,000 new teachers. This year we are going to put another, I think 20,000, if I'm right. I don't know if that's the right number. The target of getting that deficit of 116 over that period of his first term will be achieved. Education is the only place that you can be able to levelize the field between the classes. Otherwise, if we don't invest in our education, then we will create a class and a caste system, which I think is against our constitution. Article 43 on social justice is very, very clear on those issues. The other thing that I have seen in the speech that I thought I should comment on is the issue of the tertiary fund that you intend to do. One of the first things that we have done in this administration, and I think you are aware, is we have tried to solve the problem of higher education. You know, the way we had structured the last, I think, 10 or 15 years is that the universities were being given money by Treasury directly. So what we have done now, sitting down with our team of members of the Social Council, members of the Economic Advisory Team of the President, and the Higher Education Fraternity, we have sat down and came up with a way to try and solve that problem using mean scoring. We want now to pay the students, so that the students can pay the university, so that the university has no problem. So the issue of the university dealing with the ministry disappears. The issue of the university not having money to be able to deliver on their work also disappears. So if you have been following very closely, that issue on the tertiary fund, I think is being solved, because for the people who cannot be able to pay on the mean scoring, the government will give a certain amount of bursary. And the people who can afford, the government will give a loan. So everybody will be given a bursary plus a loan or a full loan, so that everybody is able to pay for his education. And we have also priced the courses that everybody is going to do, from I think the lowest 150 to I think dentistry, which is about I think 720,000 shillings. And those are the things that we are trying to do so that we can sort out the issues that you're talking about. But we will support any initiative, and as the chairman has put it here and the director, I think the founders of this institution, and again I want the members of the founders to stand, and we tell them thank you very much for the work that they have done, their parents did. I think they were very visionary, and what they have done, we as the society, and in particular the students, and I want to challenge the president, the students who have gone through the Starehe system, I think owe to those gentlemen. And I was having a chat with both the director and the chairman here, and I was asking myself, surely you cannot have your infrastructure falling apart and you have eminent people from Starehe. Why should it? You know, chairman, today we have technology. I'm sure with technology you can be able to nudge your alumni to each pay 2,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings a month. And I was just looking at the data with the director, and I was telling myself, the last 30 years, maybe the people who have passed through this institution are about 8,000. And of the 8,000, if we say that the people can afford to pay 5,000, half, you'll be raising every month 20 million. So the 8 million that you raised last year will be peanuts, because you'll do 240 million shillings, the whole amount of money that you need within a year. And I'm sure we have technology. I have a friend of mine, by the way, who is an old boy. It's called Eric Oyugi here. He's an expert in IT. Maybe he can come up and do for you a small app that you can put all your Starehe people, and you keep telling them what's happening, so that you can encourage them.
Seems like you're an insider.
No, I'm not an insider. I was just thinking and asking myself, surely, why would we say that we cannot raise the 240 million shillings and you have eminent persons? I think 30 people in my class were from Starehe at the university. So I even saw Mwangi here when in college with him. Yeah, the class of 89. Yeah, yeah, there is. So I'm sure you can raise the money. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Asanteni sana.